Yo, what's going on, Comfy Gang? It's your boy, Comfy Neat, and today I'm gonna be talking about something, I guess, a little bit more on the serious side. I guess I've been asked a little bit about my backstory, so this is probably gonna be part of that. But I think what I'm gonna be talking about may or may not explain a lot of my behaviors, a lot of my issues, and a lot of my problems, and I guess is also my way of, I don't know, maybe venting or like, I don't know, getting through what happened to me in the past by just like talking about it, because I don't think I've really gone into detail about this to like anybody except for maybe like a therapist at one time, but that was like a long time ago, and I don't know if I ever fully moved on from it, so I'm just not gonna really pay attention to like the video length apart from maybe like a few cuts here and there if there's any like dead time, dead silence. But I'm gonna be talking about what my, I guess, quote unquote main bully did to me. And yeah, because I feel like this is probably one of the major things that like messed me up, I'd say. And I'll probably be going to that like next video, like how it affected me and the changes it had on my personality and how it maybe contributes to me being the way I am. But today I'm just gonna be talking about what specifically was done to me. So yeah, I'm rambling. Let's get right to the chase. So cut right to the chase. So yeah, so basically it's kind of difficult, I guess. What my main bully like did to me doesn't really make sense without like understanding like sort of the dynamic that we had, as well as like the way I was in the past. So I guess growing up, my social skills were always relatively impaired compared to like a normal kid. And I feel like although I kind of eventually picked up on a lot of these sort of like things and like, I guess, social knowledge that most people have, I'd say I picked up on it maybe like 2 or 3 years later than everybody else. And part of one thing I didn't really wrap my head around was what it meant to be like a friend. I guess prior and like before like I came to that realization, I just always assumed that friends were people that you hung out with. And I guess it's like the people that you spent the most time with, which is kind of true in a sense, in the most like shallow definition of the word. But as I learned the hard way, this is not always the case, because my main bully also kind of doubled as my quote unquote friend, arguably a best friend, which is kind of sick and twisted, because I would basically spend most of my time around this person. But it's not because I necessarily wanted to or knew any better, but it's because I just kind of assumed that we were friends, because I didn't have any social skills. I didn't have the ability to, I guess, make new friends, talk to new people. I sort of lost that as my social anxiety worsened and my, I guess, autistic behaviors became more and more pronounced during like adolescence. And a lot of this really happened, I'd say, between like high school, like late middle school, early high school, like up to like 10th grade, late 10th grade, I'd say. And but yeah, keep in mind that what this person did to me happened over several months, and it was repeated. So if you're wondering why I didn't just leave the situation, which is easily what I could have done, it's because I thought of this person as my friend, and I also maybe was partly like desperate for companionship at the time, because I was mostly lonely, and this person kind of gave me that sort of like easy way out, just like someone to like be around, but would just constantly treat me like shit. And yeah, so as far as what this person did to me, I'd say it was mostly a lot of like social things, and like as well as like verbal abuse. And it just started with the fact that like this guy would always call me a, you know what, I'm just gonna say the word, even if it means me being shadow banned. I'm just gonna say it once and try not to say it too much. Like, he just called me like a faggot, and it's like he would constantly like call me kind of almost as like a greeting, almost like, I guess he like normalized it. Like, he'd say it so much that eventually I'd assume that that's what his thing, but he would never really say this to anyone else. It was really only me. He would call me like yo fag, like yo, and like honestly, like that word like triggers me to this day. And yeah, if I fucking get emotional or like start tearing up, I don't know, I probably can't do justice to what was done to me. I can't really, because I feel like I've blocked out a lot of it in my mind because it's been like years, and I feel like maybe part of me has moved on, but thinking about it now, I am getting a little bit emotional, but I'll try to keep it together. Yeah, like, hey faggot, yo fag, like, and then he would just like say all these things to me, like for example, like, dude, why are you such a fucking faggot? Like fuck you, fag, like, or like, I guess like bitch too, but it's really mostly fag for some reason. And yeah, just like call me a faggot, and he'd always like give me shit for like every little thing that I did. And you know, I guess part of it was maybe not entirely uncalled for, because I was definitely on the awkward side as far as you know, my movements, my behaviors, my mannerisms and stuff. But he would just constantly give me shit for everything, like calling me like a fag for this, fag for that, and would just call me a fag instead of my actual name. And yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, I guess, but when you're being called this over and over again by someone who I guess you think is your friend, and even I started to call him shit back eventually, but it's like, it's just gets really exhausting over time. And it's like, it's not just what he was saying, but the way he was saying it also, like as if I were like below him, like beneath him, which is I guess kind of true socially. But yeah, he would do this a lot. And then yeah, he would also always try and take advantage of me, because I guess even back then I was sort of like a people pleaser, but it's more really because I didn't know how to relate to people other than, you know, saying yes, because I thought if I said yes to people, agreed to things, then, you know, maybe they would like me more if I did them a favor. But at the time I was too dumb to see that sometimes people will take advantage of this kindness, or this, I guess, you know, lack of like willingness to stand up for yourself. And this person would, let's just call him Tom. Tom would fucking, or John, I don't know, some fucking generic name, but this person would basically, yeah, like do everything, like try and like milk this like as much as possible. And I was like, for example, he would ask me to do homework, and because I didn't know any better, I would, especially at the beginning of our relationship, I would, you know, just agree because I thought it was like something that would like deepen our friendship, and maybe this person would like me more. And yeah, and then if I said no, he would go like, just like, oh come on, please, dude, I really need, like, it's so like, it's like every, like, I guess, like bully that you see in like a movie about like high schoolers, like just like, come on, please, dude, like I just really need this, come on, I'll help you next time, like I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you, oh yeah, please, come on, dude, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, no, like, come on, just do it, dude, come on, like. And then obviously me not having any conviction at the time, I would like buckle. I would eventually buckle and say, because I would feel bad, like this person was at the end of the day, like, you know, dumber than me, like definitely not as intellectually capable as me, especially as far as like English goes and like stuff like that. So I would just agree because I thought this person was my friend and needed help because, well, you know, if I didn't help him, then he would probably fail or not do as well, like get like a C, a D even. So I kind of felt bad, so I agreed. And also you even use this like, oh, like, dude, come on, like my grades are really bad, blah, blah, blah. So I would just like, whatever excuse, and eventually I would buckle in no time. And I would just do this person's stuff. And at the same time, he would still call me a faggot, a bitch. I don't know, whatever was common back then, and then yeah. And another thing that, and then he would also is like, we had this like sort of like cafe, not really a cafe, but it's like another alternative food option in like the library, like the high school portion of the library. There was like led up to like a terrace thing or whatever, and there was like a thing there where you could buy like better, I guess slightly better food than the cafeteria. So we would always go there. Like he would always ask me to come out and eat lunch, hang out with him there, but then he would always ask me to what's it called, it's like he asked me once to buy him, like to spot him or just like buy him, like, I don't know, at the time it was like it was either like a chicken and cheese quesadilla. I'm just laughing because like it's funny remembering this stuff, or something. It was kind of like a lean, like quote unquote lean beef on rice, which is really just like a Japanese like gyudon, if you've ever heard of that. It's kind of like thinly sliced beef with like in like a sweet, savory like soy sauce, and like onions, I guess, and over rice. And he would ask me to like buy this stuff, and I was like, yeah, sure, like okay, because he said he forgot his like, he didn't bring money, or he forgot his I guess because our school had these like card things that you could swipe. It was like integrated into like our ID cards, like our school ID card, just like a little like barcode thing, like paper, and then like a little barcode that you could like scan. So it was like, yeah, I bought him this thing, and then eventually he kept asking me, and then he would use the exact same like, come on, dude, please. And eventually it just got to the point where I would just by default always buy this guy food. And yeah, I didn't know any better. Like, I don't know why. Like, I probably spent like adding up in total maybe like $1,000 over the course of that time when I was still willing to buy him stuff. Eventually I stopped, but yeah, so yeah, I would like buy him food and stuff, and then he would eat. And then keep in mind that he would still talk so much shit to me. He would ask me why I was such a loser, why I, if I was, like, if I was like why I was so gay, like why I was such a fag, and all that stuff. And or like why I was so stupid, even though I was smarter than him, and just all these things that would like over time slowly chip away at me. And doesn't sound like it's that bad, because he did kind of, I'll get to that later, but like it's not like he fucking like beat the shit out of me, bang my head against a locker or something like that. But it's like a little like verbal abuse that slowly chips away at you. And it's just like the repetition that eventually, because this happened every day pretty much over the course of like months, over the span of pretty much like 2.5 years, where it like chips away at you. And yeah, it really started bothering me because this guy, I considered him my friend, so I just didn't understand like why he was doing this to me. And also it just made me feel bad because it kind of made me question whether friendship was actually worth it, because I would basically always have to like deal with this, and I felt obligated to because this person was my quote unquote friend in my mind. I obviously was a dumbass at the time, ignorant. And yeah, so there's that. And it's like he would always do these things. Another thing was that he would basically let me just check the battery real quickly.